Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. It is January 21st, 2019, and I have a union read for you. It's combined Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. It's a complete read, as well as sand art, and I'll do oracles at the end as well. It's a beautiful day here. I can't tell you how windy it is though. Like, it's crazy cold outside and windy, but the sun's like bright as anything. The moon was beautiful last night. I took some pictures of the moon before the eclipse, and I think I'm posting that on this video, if not another, just to get it up there. I do have a picture of the eclipse. It was, I think, 11:37 here in Pennsylvania, and I have an artistic picture of that. It looks like an eyeball, like the third eye. It was very cool the way it came out, so I did a little artistic touch-up on it, but you'll see if I put it up there. But it was very beautiful, and I was so awake before I went to bed last night. I don't know if that was the eclipse energies, I assume so, but just wondering if anyone else was feeling that same way. I feel good today. There is a lot of spine pain for those of you who, especially who have a tendency towards spine pain anyway, which I do. It's very much been focused in the root and the hips, so the sacral, lumbar, sacral, but sacral, hips a lot, and then in the wings as well. So if you're getting any of that, that's definitely the energies coming in with this eclipse. And I've been continuously getting the portal opened. The gate that's open right now is starting to close, and I'll get into that in the read. I'm going to get into the sand art right away, so I get that out. And I have to finish my juice, I have my special heart glass that I always drink my juice out of. But just an example to always use the things that you love. Don't keep your special things hidden away for a rainy day. Enjoy every moment. And then for some reason I was guided to peppermint tea today, so let me know if any one of you guys have as well with my bunny mug. And don't forget your water as usual. In the sand art, it was one grand union. The masculine was so proud, chest out and fluffed, feathers fluffed, and icicles around. Two coming together, and another holding something over their heads in prayer, and photographers there. As she comes down the aisle, he weakens at the sight of her. A very emotional crowd. As the emotions affect him, he begins to reflect her light, and wings appear. And Spirit's connecting with me. The Divine Feminine flies up as her maidens peer. She becomes a butterfly, and he a whirlwind, as everyone takes cover as they start to spin. Her spirit goes into him that he has gladly taken, her with tears of joy that all have spoken. Everyone joins hands around them, circling an entire mountain, now in a special chamber all their own. Their light glows beyond it. A spotlight enhances it even more. Emotions of peace overwhelm the floor, as rest is required again once more. Announcements are dense and doughy, as an ostrich head appears above the crowds. Someone made homemade pasta, and someone else really has to go to the bathroom. Bells chime for a new beginning. Make sure you clean out the dough maker when you're finished. So make sure to clean it, okay? So those are the message from the sand art. It was very concise about one specific thing. Sometimes I get lots of different things, but it was very much around this ceremony, this new beginning ceremony, okay? So I'm going to get right into this union read for today. What did I watch last night? I watched Murder on the Cape last night. That was weird. It was very karmic. So, if you haven't seen that, like, it wasn't like really dark energies. It was kind of a little bit twisted dark though, and it really brought up the energies between the third party energies and the karmic energies. So I don't want to go into it too much, but if you'd like to watch it, feel free to. Today, January 21st, 2019, it is a Monday. I was born on a Monday. That's what made me think of when I saw that today. The 21, of course, is the world, so it's all about completion and accomplishment and coming full circle, going out into the world and sharing cultures with others. So it is really about opening your heart to everyone, to the world, and to yourself. The day adds up to 34/7. So 21 is a 3, and then we have a 34/7, so it's very much of expressing yourself in a very spiritual way. The 34/7, though, is the 8 of Wands, which is very passionate exchange of feelings or communications, a heated exchange. All right, it's the arrows of love. So those are the energies around the world today. And a cycle wrapping itself up. And there's going to be some heated conversations coming up today as well. The sun, like I said, is so bright. It hasn't been this bright in I don't know how long, but it just seems, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like super illuminated. And that's the first thing I wrote. I said I woke and it's sunny. Like I couldn't avoid seeing the sun coming in from everywhere. And I decided to pull a couple of deck that I haven't really used at all, that I bought in France when I was in the south of France, because I mean I know a little bit of French, but I have to look most of the phrases up because I don't remember it all. But I did pick 2 cards for you guys today from the French deck, so we'll see what that has to say. And this is not the other one. This is called, I'll show you the front of the box. This is this deck here, Famille d'Ame. So it's the family of souls. So it has like different groupings in it. I'm not sure that I understand it all yet because it's all in French, but I'll give you the energies that I got from the 2 cards that were pulled. So the union read was done at 10:26 to 27, and the major arcana were the Tower, Abundance, which is the Empress and the Syrian Starseed, Transition, which is the Death card, which is the portal energy in this deck. It's very much a picture of someone walking through a portal. Chariot, and then the Shadow, which is the Devil card. That was actually the outcome or solution card. But in this deck, it's very much like a spider web, and it's called the Shadow. It's not called the Devil. It's about your shadow side and doing shadow work. The card after the read was the 10 of Swords, because it's really about ending the pain, and it's really focusing on spine pain. So I wasn't seeing it as that negative energy that you'd really get from it, usually from like betrayal or endings, death, that kind of things, because you have the Devil and the 10 of Swords coming together at the end of this read. But that wasn't the way I was getting it. I was getting it about shadow work and spine pain. So take it as you get it as I bring out the read. It was a really nice read, actually. I was very surprised by the initial cards that came out. That's why don't judge a book by its cover. You never know what you're going to get, right? Life is a box of chocolates. There were 4 wands for the union, 1 sword and 2 cups, no pentacles. So today really wasn't about being all business. There may be some busy stuff. It's physical busyness, though. 1 sword and 2 cups, so it's actually lovely. It's just physical busyness today. Maybe running errands, working out, rushing in to show your passion to somebody, but those are the energies that are overwhelming here. And we have 5 major arcana, which is significant. The core cards that came up were the Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands. And the Page of Cups and the Syrian Starseed is heart open wide, and so is the Empress, that Abundance card. They're both about like heart open wide. The Queen of Wands is also here, and also the card before the underlying energy, just before it, because I use that in my read as well, is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands came up multiple times, at least 3, if not 4, from all decks, 4 decks of the main card reads. So the numbers that came up here, and there were no numerology deck cards that came up in line with the coding today. It was just about the numbers 8, 3, and 11 came up directly in the codes. Maybe the 2 came up, 8, 23, and 13. 2, 3, 4, that sequence came up, as well as 4, 12. The coding had to do with being good at staying in your high vibration and staying at that 0 point, the 8. And then touch, for me, TR is like the 1010. It's a trill. It's like that high vibration, staying close to 0 point. But it also reminded me of touch tone, because right after college I worked for Mountain Bell when they were divesting for 7 months, and TR was the symbol for touch tone, which then reminds me of my statue touchstone, which you've seen it before. I'll turn this for you real quick. If I don't know if you can see it right there. Okay, so it's a really beautiful statue. I actually have I was looking for a lighted mount for it, because that's the way it's really presented best. And I found one that changes colors, so it's really cool when it's rotating with the colors. But the statue is beautiful. And I don't want to say his name wrong, because I haven't remembered his name in a long time, and my retrieval for words and names is terrible now, after my concussion, menopause, life, all that kind of stuff, right? I think it's Wilkins, but I'll have to post that. He's an amazing artist. I've had that statue for a long, long time. But as you turn his works of art, the faces change. And in this touchstone, the man is looking down. As you go around it, he's like, his eyes, they're looking at each other. But as you go around it, the man starts looking down because he's sad, because he's lost his true love. And as you turn it, the woman is looking towards the heaven and looking for her true love. It's really a beautiful statue, and Spirit's connecting with me. They agree. Okay, so this high vibration, which I guess they're bringing up the artist, because of course any creations, artwork helps keep your vibrations high. And then I was getting tomorrow's world, third wheel, but also tomorrow's world were coming up as far as coming together urgently, like an emergency room visit. It was about coming together in a high vibration emergently into tomorrow's world as a third wheel. Another energy that was coming up from this coding was the King of Wands. So being good at staying in your high vibration at 0 point and allowing yourself to go with the flow. The King of Wands, in their emotions, is emergent. It's like the King of Wands emergently has to get into their emotions and learn to get back to 0 point quickly. So then I went to look up a couple of the letters that came up in the coding that weren't really making complete sense to me, and I went in to put in AER or SAER to see what would come up, but I mistakenly put in ARE, not knowing it, and what came up was, of course, definitions of ARE 4 times. And then after that, though, what caught my attention was EdgarCayce.org. So why putting ARE in there would bring up Edgar Cayce of all people, but this is why it's so cool for me, because you never know what you're going to get. Okay, so EdgarCayceCameUp.org, that he was born 1877 to 1945, and he was known as the Sleeping Prophet, the father of holistic medicine, for those of you who are not aware of him, and the most documented psychic of the 20th century. He was born in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, it said, and he had his abilities from childhood. Probably not all of them, but he did have abilities from the time he was a child. Then something else came up that was ARE, and this was from Wiki, was that used to be called, I don't know if it's Ari Lake, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but it's in Sweden. It's a ski resort in Jämtland County, Sweden. There's 17 inhabitants there since 2010. Okay, so I guess it's a fairly new ski resort. Then different When I did put AER in there, I was just getting stuff about Army emergency relief, financial assistance, and that was Association for also education and rehabilitation of blind and the visually impaired, which then another thing came up, said AER was a manufacturing company with vision, quality, innovation, stability, and financial strength. So it's really about, vision came up twice, so whether it's the visually impaired or the blind, the people who are refusing to see, that was being emphasized. It's also short for American Economic Association, the Review, which is a general interest economics journal since 1911, one of the most respected, oldest journals. And then Alberta Energy Regulator is also AER. And the news headline on that was new methane reduction requirements are released. So that's good, okay? And then when I put the full code in, I got an 8-item form for the empathy quotient. And that just really had income stats, but it was really about me seeing empathy quotient. Om Yoga came in, so that might be helpful to you. And then 2 of Cups definitions times 2, one of an upright definition and one of a reverse, which was really nothing new, but just bringing it up, the 2 of Cups, okay? It's very much about the 2 of Cups, and I just showed you a 2 of Cups, okay? So getting into the read, it's all about the underlying energy of the Tower coming in as the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands with the Tower is very passionate energy. As the Knight of Wands appears, because he's right below the Tower coming out now, getting attention, success, good news, or on journey to leave work for other more perhaps enticing options with his eye on the prize, or attention to third-party situation through work, seeing lots of synchronicities, and suddenly passionately riding in out of nowhere. After fighting or conflict or expansion at the full moon eclipse, or conflict of whether or not to look at the eclipse, that some may be afraid of the effects, the gate is open for the wounded warrior working out details of alignment. The gate is now closing while he just has a few more to go, and he'll be finished in time. So it's like the Divine Masculine is, there's something he's trying to get done, and he knows he has to get it done before the gate closes. Okay? So standing guard at the gate, cracking codes, building blocks of DNA, green door within, knees, calves, and elfin feet. So like an elf, elfin feet related. Peter Pan shoes, a wand in your foot, or a sandal with laser energy to stimulate the foot. Very stressed out about finishing in time to protect the energy he's put into something. Okay, so something the masculine has spent a lot of time and energy on. He wants to make sure it's finished up before the gate closes, where like he just has to make it just in time. And then it was 11:07 as I turned the page. Over the worst between the Empress and the King of Cups reversed. The Empress was reversed as well. Still prisoner of brain wars and over isolation. So very much is the brain wars is all about just fighting with yourself, being in your head, going in circles, you know, at war with yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Looking out to make sure that the coast is clear before he tries his hand at the truth with blinders on, since the latest victories were very unsatisfying. So soulmate energy comes up as underlying energy for the union, as well as engagement beneath that. So the level of the relationship was rising, and then the top card was saying, yes, this is your soulmate. After a tower of jealous third-party issues, getting caught with your pants down by the Queen of Wands with flame between you, romantic tie with flame is a bed of roses, is what the masculine's saying, and he's taking off with her, even if they have to ride through fire together with hoses. Okay, this is like this is what I'm getting, that the masculine was responding to the karmic, where normally he was just trying to make nice, and now he's speaking his piece. And then I got ashes, ashes, we all fall down. And just now I was just getting ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So both of those were coming in. Red-bottom shoe, looks like a mannequin, was a false match, a little too dark. The more subdued one is the perfect match to his tie. As Cupid aims his arrow at the divine masculine to stop and ask why he's allowed this to go on for so long. Children may have been affected too, in the way they now perform. Some are coming off too sexy, and some too withdrawn. Synchronicities is coming up as very significant in the underlying energies for the union, and then music was underneath that. Stars are out in magic blue globe and that could be the Earth in the eclipse there. That wasn't coming up before, it was coming up now. Stars are out in the magic blue globe for the Knight of Wands who ended the battle letting go of their wounds with the Queen of Cups reversed, who's been manipulative and sneakiness, and now addressing it, taking back what was taken. Gold and red curtains can't cover or shade the truth. And a big gust of wind came in right then. Of Lancelot galloping through the woods to make it to his fair maiden before the gate closes. Suddenly coming out with it, at work fessing up to soulmate passion, riding in with synchronicities, and music behind it. Recently, for the union, there was a passionate, heated exchange of the happy family, or the sham fam as I call it, not using intuition or secrets out about that family, or the house, and or the union. The foundation is of union, the ultimate family and legacy, the truth and triumph of finding true peace. Centrally, the energy at the heart of the issue is both in their knowing and glowing destiny of third party or antisocial behaviors, not confessing and dropping burdens. I'm sorry, not confessing, but now confessing. Now confessing and dropping burdens of any and all deceptions. Judgment is in. You know, that was like the gavel coming down yesterday. Cupid called the feminine and children to have a conversation. The challenge for the union is the Three of Cups. The divine masculine is the Page of Wands, excited to see the Queen of Pentacles. But the Queen of Wands, apart from them, is now feeling in separation. Her judgment of twins, thinking the hookup, maybe that needs to come up too, or that they're just hung up on them, on sex, boobs, and chasing, and ass, and that's all it is, like the sex. Cannot understand the depth of their feelings, both hers and his, that they've been avoiding. Now crowning the union, the Page of Cups, with their pure open heart, fessing up to divorce or justice complete, healing, sitting in uncomfortable emotions and finding peace in it by not hurting anyone. Awaken to stillness even when hands are tied. Stop working that you need to stop working in order to heal sometimes. Heart open wide. New love exposed, but no opportunity for work, money, research, or invitation to pay back and rebalance with twin and have a conversation. The King of Cups wants union and peace, but someone may be still drinking or making potions in secret, or a white hook perhaps. Soon is the Empress in all of her glory, open and radiant with message of love and friendship to twin, while looking back at spirituality and divorce. Or the Empress who's got money on the brain, or ice cream, or little nuts, connected to the establishment, commitment, contracts, marriage, and such. Okay, so the Empress can come up in the twin flame energy as the feminine, and or as a karmic, and it could be a karmic mother as well. So mothers in general, including Gaia, opening heart wide to their children and their twins, letting go of all that's been. The union is a portal of high vibration. A male Leo may be out of control, but other fire sign males are just tired, needing courage to move forward. The Emperor is very unhappy, or arrogant and unsatisfied, although he's upright, so he believes this is so. Worth waiting for comes up for the union, and let go of control issues. So it's very much coming up as the Emperor and then the King of Wands, so the masculine energy needs to let go of control issues. So that's the masculine within the feminine as well, okay? So the divine masculine is finding control no longer satisfying, as going through portal of death and transformation around the union is the Queen of Wands, working on aligning, but depressed, leaving behind half of everything, and doesn't like being ignored, or is ignoring any offers of love and friendship because she's angry. It's really coming up as more depression, though, than anger right now. Clear blocks of the Chariot, being too bold and forceful in talking, or a message that could cause crying and stress if the King of Swords is not in his truth, or lying, or just being immature. Okay, so the blocks for the union is don't let the Chariot intimidate you about rushing in. Don't worry about the words. Just go with your feelings. Holding back energy of magnetizing the new beginning, and this is specific to the masculine, but it can be both, especially if the divine feminine is still in her karmic marriage as well. Holding back energy of magnetizing new beginning until everything is tied up and neatly in a bow. Okay, so you need to clear blocks about things. All have to be perfect before you leave one thing to go to another. Creativity, because it's not going to, no matter what you do, it's never going to be tied up neatly with a bow. Just allow all that needs to come in. Allow, go with the flow. Creativity comes up as very significant, as well as financial discipline for the union. Creativity and financial discipline. And playful expanding without going into anxiety or draining each other's energy. The devil or the shadow, the dark side of all, have discussions about love, then offer it all. Boldly moving on, using shadow side energy to fuel it, then resting and meditating, quiet healing without options. Keep energy clear at your crown, okay, and that came up yesterday too. Make sure you keep it pure above your crown. As commitments to establishment explode as the truth comes out, completely exposed to free all involved. The Queen of Swords meets the Knight of Swords, not in their power, or the Knight of Swords is someone who's just lost their money and independence, or speaking on behalf of such a person, in much pain, and could be like feeling like death. The spine is now very affected by the energies coming in. Keep your energies clean. Anyway, there's discussions offering love without dealing with money in order to end pain, pain of back, or clearing and doing shadow work. The Knight of Cups offers new love in complete transformation after falling on their face due to lack of faith. The King of Pentacles reverse, losing status and money in fight to detox and become a patient angel. Okay, and that's what the read ended right at 12 noon on the angel. Okay, so really perfect. So I bet you couldn't have gotten that ending with the Devil card and the Ten of Swords. But it's really about them reversed, and it's all about detoxing and letting go of the pain. This is it, you know, this is beautiful. I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you guys, and I'm going to show you the cards that I got from that new French deck that I showed you. May not be pronouncing it correctly, but Les Guérisseuses, and there's Fees? I don't know how they pronounce fairies, but it's about the Guérisseuses are the healers. So number 22 came up, which is the fairies, and then number 25 came up, which is the warrior healers. All right, but they're both the same tones, which they're not all. They're all different colors in this deck. All right, so very much green came up for you guys today. Okay, see if I can get it any clearer. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So well, you can't get past the green, that's for sure. It's all about the physical healing energy right now. And financial discipline came up, and creativity. But health has been coming up this week too, but it's really green, so really so much about being green, so going green, organic as much as you can, keep things clear, your crown, but it's also about physical healing and the spine, and this is reminding me of the spine too, like, you know, going down the spine and seeing all the scattered energies, you know, when you see all those little wiry energies sticking out like hairs. That's like what Reiki energy looks like. But this is very disorganized and scattered. This one's more defined. It's not as scattered as that one. Okay, this is the warrior green. And football. I guess football's coming up. Oh, I'm getting too. You know how cold the football gets at this kind of weather? It is pain. I've caught a frozen football before. Boy, is that painful. So maybe some football players who are in need of some physical healing. Almonds are coming up too. Almonds. Eat almonds. Get the almonds online. I get them through Amazon. They're much better. The organic from other countries than the ones in the US, because the ones at the grocery store are usually really dry anyway. These ones are so much more moist, and they're raw and organic, so they haven't had the amygdalin stripped out of them. So get the ones online as opposed to the grocery stores. But yeah, almonds are coming up. Almonds and football. And the Merkaba and the energy line. Your spine. Heal your spine. Okay. Alright, so let's see what the other decks have to say for you. Alright, so from the Ascension deck. It was just 3155. And 31 is the 5 of Wands, which is the expansion energy, and 55 is the truth. So allow the expansion. Sometimes it may be that pain, but that's why you stay present at 0 point to minimize that discomfort. Okay, clear the line. Take a deep breath. Alright. Today is January 21st, 2019. For everyone watching, and the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Oh, that came right out. Okay, the Sphinx is the bottom of the deck. Two. Okay. The Sphinx is the bottom of the deck, number 20, okay, which is the energies from yesterday. 20 is the Judgment, which came up again today, but Judgment's coming up with Cupid, which is the very gentle judgment, the very kind judgment, the gentle, sweet judgment. For the Sphinx, being the 20 is source behind the 2, which is the feminine energy. So the feminine energy is being backed up right now. The affirmation is I connect to the God force within the Sphinx, which is all about Akashic records, okay? Oh, and I remembered this too. Not so much last night, although I actually did feel it a tiny bit before I went to sleep last night. Like the past 4 nights, I've been feeling like there's fleas in my bed. It was weird. Or just like bed bugs. But it was ever so slight. And it was only a little bit. And it happened for like 2 or 3 nights. Last night wasn't really feeling it. A little bit. But it wasn't as significant as before. It just came in slightly. So I was just wondering if anyone else had felt that. Because that was kind of weird. And my sheets are pretty clean, so. The cards that came up for you guys are 12 chakras. Number 1. And Isis, number 38. Okay, so number 1 is the Magician energy, and 38 is the Queen of Cups. So very much the masculine and feminine energies. The 12th chakra says, following the fall of Atlantis, 5 of our 12 chakras closed. Ascension starts when we once more activate the 12 fifth-dimensional chakras. This begins to reconnect the 12 strands of DNA so that we can reclaim our true spiritual and psychic gifts. Your guidance is to ask the unicorns to touch, open, and I just brought up touchstone and touchstone. Ask the unicorns to touch, open, and activate your Earth Star, base, sacral, navel, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, causal, soul star, and stellar gateway chakras. Then ask the angels to sing over you so that your chakras vibrate at a fifth dimensional frequency, okay? And that was very much a focus of the read today, too, is with the high vibration from the codes. The affirmation is, I awaken to 12 fifth dimensional chakras. And then Isis says, this is 38, Illumined Master Isis was Ma-Ra and Lemuria. Isis, the high priestess of Atlantis, mother of Horus in Egypt, and Mary, mother of Jesus. She's always overlooked by the universal angel Mary, who helps Isis pass her initiations and ascend in each lifetime. This card reminds you of the power of the feminine. Face your challenges with equanimity and courage, knowing you are helped by angels. And that was coming up a lot yesterday with the oracle cards. Keep your light bright. And that I was bringing up the sun today, and your energy pure no matter what. So a lot about that came up today. And this will enable you to influence many others on their ascension path. Remember, there is a greater plan, and the affirmation is, I face my challenges with calm and strength. And again, 38 is an 11, and it is the Queen of Cups. Okay, it's that very loving, intuitive energy, nurturing. And we have the Magician, so it's very, very magical energy between the two. So maybe the masculine's focusing on learning about chakras right now, and then the feminine is just empowering herself with her feminine energy and just maybe expanding her knowledge about the lineage of Mary Magdalene and Isis and Mary and all of those energies. Two more cards came out from this deck. We have the Dolphins, which is number 23, which confirms back to the King of Wands. And we have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands in this. The Dolphin says, Dolphin sonics purify and raise the frequency of water as they swim through it so they can access, maintain, and pass on the wisdom of Golden Atlantis and Lemuria. So we're going to put water. Those dolphins who shimmer with aquamarine light were the angels of Atlantis. They are mighty beings who help us to hold the frequency of the oceans. In choosing this card, it invites you to tune into the beautiful dolphins and access a message from them. Your guidance is to relax and flow with the current of ascension, knowing that all dolphins are telepathically imparting help and wisdom to you. The affirmation is, I connect with dolphin wisdom. And like I said, I always recommend listening to some dolphin and whale sounds. Sometimes it's just what you need. Other times it's not, but just, feel into it. Just because you don't like it the first time doesn't mean you shouldn't try it again. It's like listening to music sometimes in your car. Like sometimes during the day when the energies are too much, I don't want to hear anything. Or I'll listen to a song and I don't like it, and then at nighttime when it's all peaceful, I'll turn on that same song and it's just what I need to hear. So it's the same thing. You have to feel it out. It's always going to be changing, so it's always giving things another opportunity, because you never know what you're going to resonate with now. The other card that came up was Orion, which is 18, the moon, so we're still in that eclipse energy right now. The great masters of Orion invite you to visit Orion in meditation or sleep to receive a download of cosmic wisdom. This is an honor, so prepare yourself with intention during the day by showering, lighting a candle, playing sacred music, or walking in nature. Then you will receive much spiritual light. Orion is the soul star chakra of this universe. You may find it helpful to ask Archangel Mariel to light up your personal soul star chakra, which is above your head, to facilitate your connection. The affirmation is, I honor the masters of Orion and visit them in my sleep. Okay, so it's more connection. So we have Isis, Archangel Mariel, and the unicorns. Okay, so the unicorns, the dolphins, Isis, and Mariel. And also, Edgar Casey came up. You might want to connect with Edgar. So we have a 9, a 5, 11, and 1. Okay, so it's very much the end and, the rebirthing cycle from the ending to the new beginning, and then elevating to a higher level or higher frequency with the 11, And then we have the 5 always there, because you're always going to be changing things up, and that's why I had to bring up the dolphin music, and that, you know, that you're always changing. So to always consider something new. Okay, so for the past life deck here, clear the line. Take another deep breath. Clear the line. Clear the line. Clear the line. Okay, so January 21st, 2019. We'll ask Isis and Archangel Mariel. January 21st, 2019. For everyone watching in the best and highest good of all is concerned, Isis and Archangel Mariel. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Alright, so, got 4 again. So 4 is specific for something. 4 is union, 4 is the Emperor, control issues, let go of your control issues. And we get biblical at the bottom again. This is always like putting the 4th leg on the bench. It's like working on the 4th leg of the union. And it also reminds me of that 8 of Pentacles, okay? Working with your hands and being creative, and creativity and financial discipline came up for the card for the union today. So use your creativity and your financial discipline combined, okay, to help you out. Do what you love. The cards that came out for you guys, we got 4 of them. The first 2 that came out are communal living and authority figures. Okay. Oh, is that upside down? Oh, look, that's so weird. It looks upside down to me. That's so weird. I'm going to let it resonate to see what's coming up. There's something coming up, but I can't get it. About that communal living card. We have authority figures as well. So like I said, the gavel came down, right? The hammer came down. Definitely, if there was people were in court or divorcing, that things have been settled. Or dealing with the authority figures in the community, because there's communal living here coming up. But this is also from the past life deck, so it's about anything settling disputes of the past. Oh. Who caused the wall to come tumbling down? In communities of the past. What's that from? I'm not thinking of the Trojan Wall, but that's coming up as well. It's the same lines as that. But, oh, it was just on the tip of my tongue. The walls of... someone come tumbling down. But anyway, you can put it in the comments if you remember. Let go of old family issues or lineage issues that have been passed down through generations, right? Of wars. Okay, so let go of all that stuff. Because, oh, Jericho, the walls of Jericho come tumbling down. And also in the sand art that I saw today, everyone was joining hands around a mountain, all right? Okay, so let all of those old family wars come to pass, okay? The gavel has come down, it's time to let go. God said so. Okay, the other 2 cards that came out are angels, which came up again today. To make sure you call in your angels, they're right there waiting for you if you need their assistance. In the light, in the bright sunlight. And also lessons and blessings again came up. This came up this week as well. Yeah, so again, it's about your lessons of the past, to let go of time. Oh, the time limit for the masculines. To learn your lessons. I am seeing a place setting beneath the watch. It's time for you to no longer be alone. There's a single place setting and a stopwatch. The time is running out, that it's time. Call in your angels as needed. The past no longer exists. Very cool. Alright, so, journey of love. Take another deep breath. Okay? Take another deep breath. Can't take too many breaths. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay. So to Isis and Archangel Mariel. Today is January 21st, 2019. For everyone watching in the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Here we go. Alright, 2 cards. The bottom of the deck is 35, which is intimacy, okay? Because it's always about, it's not about the sex, it's about the intimacy. For those who don't understand that, okay? That's why romance is of utmost importance, not only in your twin, what's the word I wanted to say? Not only your twin partnership, that's not what I wanted to say, in the dynamic, but in all of your dynamics. Because romance is just about intimacy and showing affection, okay? To want to have a true relationship is to have true intimacy. You know, when you're mother and child, there are no secrets between mother and child, of course, until they grow up and they start hiding secrets from you. But you know what I mean, the bond is there. That's that unconditional love. Intimacy is 35, so very suiting that Mary Magdalene comes up here. Because Mary Magdalene comes up in the other deck as 35, and 35 is the wounded warrior. Okay, and the wounded warrior's been beaten down. They need love and caring, intimacy. They don't need lies, and they don't need you to pretend everything's okay. They need the truth, intimacy, closeness, for you to love them no matter what. So 12 came out. Okay, 12 is the hangman energy of wisdom, of self-initiation. And then we also got 11, which is eruption of light, which it certainly did today. And that's number 11. Like I said, 11 is justice. So it's justice and the hangman, the wisdom. So it's interesting because it's going backwards from 12 to 11. We had another 11 and another 3 that came out already. I'm trying to get this because the 12 has more expansion energy in it. It's more rough, and it's going backwards to a much more pure 11, which is the eruption of light. Because now I'm getting it. It just came in. So because 12 is the end of the cycle, and it's starting to go into the red again, into the new beginning. Okay, that's why where the rough edges come from. Alright, because it really started from that pure light. See the white in the middle, the white and yellow? That's where it's coming from. But then going into the beginning, you see her like expanding like this. She's being taken over by the new beginning that's approaching her. It's still very smooth energies as far as like the snail and this shokugure energy. It's very smooth of the cyclone, the twister, right? And going into the vortex, the 0 point energy. They both have that. But the 12 is much rougher because you're going into transition, whereas if you go back up a little and go back to the 11, you're back into smooth waters, because look how peaceful that is, the eruption of light. Okay? going right into the vortex. It's the volcano erupting. The purity of the eruption, of releasing. But I'm seeing also in releasing the light, and it's very feminine energy here, and of the mother. In releasing the light, not only are you releasing the crap that you need to get out of you, but you're also releasing out the purity within you to offer to others. So it's saying you're doing that simultaneously. And also the violet light to transmute the lights around, or the energy around them. But there's always a purity of white light that comes out from the violet transmutation. And the castle that's on the top of the hill, the pinnacle, the egg, the ovary, the pearl. So they're all coming up as the same. Oh, and the, shoot, what's it called? The toroidal. Okay, toroidal energies, there we go. You know, like the core of the apple and the way the universe is set up, the planets, and apple, it's all the same. The toroidal flow. The hourglass of the sand going through, the hourglass of time. The connection, the bridge. Because you also see that that's the meeting point between the two energies, the light and the earth, the masculine and the feminine. Okay, and again, I'm going to show you them both because they both have the same energy of the swirling. Okay, I'm going to read these to you. 12 first and then 11. Alright, so self-initiation. You're being touched by a wave of your own light in motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing towards you from within you in an upsurging wave of love? This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as the carrier of your own divinity, of course, and sometimes, if you're not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be. Yet at any moment you can choose to recognize that it is you who are initiating yourself into love, that you are the being of light, the divine, that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment, you can choose to recognize yourself. Will this be such a moment? This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on this path, some humble, some wise, some great companions on your life journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life, quickly, just like the music. Perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom. Did someone tell you not to do something yesterday, and did you follow their wisdom, or did you go and look into your own? The greatest teacher, however, is life itself. You can trust your own experiences and know that it is the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. How easy to love, the words flow when it is right. I dare not tell you. So that's a reminder to let everything happen naturally. So now we're going to read 11, Eruption of Light. Our every prayer is a power-packed eruption of light beamed into the divine presence. Take another deep breath, guys. Some pray with fear or doubt, as though prayer is not doing much at all. Yet you understand that prayer is powerful, that it's divine action set into motion. Your power of divine prayer emerges from your heart and out through your throat, whether you speak or sing your prayer silently within your own mind or aloud for all the world to hear. Let your prayers be vocalized as feeling expressed to the divine, in words or song if you choose. You have the power to heal at your fingertips and vocal cords. Through your voice, you can heal. Let your hands be joined in prayer position at your heart, and your mouth open to let the breath of your spirit move through your throat, creating sound. As you speak it, and so it shall be, or so shall it be. This oracle holds a message. Your words, and don't get caught up in the specifics, the semantics, okay? So if I say so it shall be or it shall be, Do you think it really matters which way you say it? The spirit world isn't based on our language. I mean, yes, they're codes, but it doesn't matter, because the intention is what is important behind it. The oracle holds a message for you. Your words have more power than you may realize, and you have a special ability to heal with words. So bring light where it's needed, and to uplift through simple kindness spoken. You also have a message to bring. It might be an urge to write or speak on topics that are close to your heart. You may also simply have the need, at a soul level, to share from the heart with others when you're engaged in conversations. This oracle says your voice is a part of your power, so do use it. Okay, so this eruption of light is talking about your intention coming through your voice, okay, and through your spirit. Life begins with love. To complete itself again, symmetry is born. Okay, and that perfect balance, the masculine and feminine within, and so within, so without. Okay, or as within, so without. So, what time is it? It's coming up on 5555, but I want to tell you, I digress. The 5548 is the Ace of Swords, which is the truth, and then the 48 was coming up as that 8 of Cups, of making sure to walk away and go within when you need that time. Just like the message came earlier in the read, that there's more rest to be had after the celebration. Okay, to make sure you take care of your health. And again, finances and creativity were coming up. And from the old Rider-Waite, one final message we'll ask Isis. Isis and Mary Magdalene, since she came in too. And Muriel. Isis, Muriel, and Mary Magdalene. Take a deep breath. What does everyone need to know? What do they need to learn? One final message for today, and starting this new year. Okay. Is there anything else? Okay. All right. So the bottom of the deck I'm going to show you, but there's another card that wants to be seen. Oh. All right. So the Wheel of Fortune's at the bottom of the deck here. But there's a couple cards behind that in a clump. But then it wanted us to see the Knight of Cups, and these are all different directions. It's not all one direction. So these guys are all coming up upright. Then the Devil's shown behind that. Okay, so this is the underlying energy, and the Page of Wands reversed under that. So Page of Wands reversed is lack of inspiration. It's temper tantrums, that kind of energy. So that was first, and then the clump came with the Devil. These are all in clumps, so there's cards between them, but this is what Spirit wanted to show. The Devil came up to say hello, and this is a while back. Because then there's a big clump of cards beneath the Devil, and then the Knight of Cups. After the Knight of Cups comes the last four cards of the underlying energy, which the Wheel of Fortune was that energy. Okay, so these are the four cards. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands reversed, the Temperance card reversed, and then the Six of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune upright. Very powerful energy. Okay, so it's about the Three of Wands is about looking back to the past or going back to the past, and that may cause you to lose your patience or have a tantrum. Okay, it's referencing back to that Knight of Wands reversed, which loses their temper, you know, because it's immature physical energy. So looking back at the past, and I'm using an old deck, so it's really bringing up this information. Looking back at the past or going back to the past is only going to get you into trouble. You're going to lose your patience or your temper. That if you get past that, then you get to the positive present of the purity of heart of children and twins and their destiny. Okay, this is the underlying energy. The cards that came out for you guys are the Ace of Pentacles, which has been a constant in the reads in the past month. So that's all about that new beginning of perfect contentment, that perfect balance. Okay? And the cards that came up after that is this, which was very important the past couple of days, is especially for the masculine, is learning how to sit in uncomfortable emotions and not trying to avoid, but actually processing them, which is good. And then we have the Page of Swords. Oh, there's two here. The Page of Swords comes up reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, okay? So that's very much about negative self-talk and how when you get over-emotional, you can become manipulative. So watch out for that. So the first message is really for the masculine, that he needs to come forward with an offer of a new life, as well as learn to sit in his uncomfortable emotions and deal with them. And for the feminine, you're being told to, get out of that immature negative self-talk and saying you're not good enough, you don't have enough, all that kind of stuff, as well as knowing that when you become over-emotional, it becomes manipulative. So get out of that so that you can just be here, so that when you have that small conversation, that you can be loving and gentle and kind and intuitive. Okay? So those are the messages. Just a reminder, there's nothing negative in these messages here. And I'm going to show you the read before I forget to do that. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't think I was getting it out enough. Okay. All right, there we go. Rise and be loved.